welcome you all to this great game day for kids. It's our celebration of the anniversary of the enactment of CHIP, the Children's Health Insurance Program, which we consider CHIP the most historic policy win for the kids for the last 40 years. And we're also here to unveil our new name, Cchildren First.
Woo!
It's my pleasure to introduce the chair of our board, a partner from the great law firm of Hangley, Aronschick, Pudlin, and Siegel, John Summers.
Thank you so much, Francis, for stating so clearly why we're here today. Welcome, everyone. I'm John Summers. I have the honor of being the president of the Children First Board of Directors. For 40 years, public citizens for children and youth have put children first. And now we're making it official. By packaging the past 40 years of PCCY success and strength under the new name, Children First, we are issuing a directive, setting the tone, and igniting a rally cry for the next 40 years. Policymakers, politicians, and presidents, we must put who first?
Children first! Yay!
Now this is more than a name change. This is a fitting and timely recognition that the needs and new challenges of today require a stronger, focused effort. Our new name succinctly describes our 40-year mission of putting children first. Same strength, same commitment, combined with new opportunities and a new name.
I'm doing Facebook Live, so anything you say is going to be on the interweb.
Born in a city of so many firsts,
Thanks for the warning.
Children First has led the change for children by considering all their needs and many substantial risks and challenges they're forced to face in order to succeed. We know that generational poverty, structural racism, and lack of resources have created enormous barriers. By putting our children first, we will take down those barriers. Our comprehensive, unimpeachable research defines the problem and sets the table for a solution, with hard-hitting advocacy powered by teachers, by service providers, physicians, parents, and even politicians. We open doors for children. Now, inspired by children we fight for, we are putting children first on the office door. We're joined today by hundreds of kids who are enjoying their summer vacation. They are a tangible reminder of why we do this work. Their health, their education, their happiness are at the top of the Children First agenda. And in another 40 years, their children's and their grandchildren's health, education, and happiness will continue to be priority number one for Children First. Thank you very, very much on this exciting.
Thank you, John. I now want to introduce Thaddeus Paey, who we met just after he graduated from Norristown High School, and now he's, as a college graduate, he's active with the NAACP of Norristown. He's not just a budding child advocate anymore, he is a leading child advocate. Thaddeus, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thaddeus Paey II, and I'm a graduate of Bowie State University, Maryland. I'm glad to be here to celebrate this new chapter in child advocacy in Southeastern PA. Children First is a message that we should all live by, because when we invest in our children, our communities prosper. Like Children First, I am passionate about public education because education opens up so many doors to life. A quality education can lead to job stability, financial security, but it also helps us to understand ourselves and the world around us. It helps us to solve problems and to think critically. In this age of misinformation, having these tools is vitally important. Pennsylvania leaders must step up to the plate, put children first, and fulfill their constitutional obligation to provide for public education. Because clearly, the current system of depending on property tax hikes is not working for students or for homeowners. School districts must have sufficient funding so they can deliver the best academic resources. When the system doesn't set up students for success, how can they succeed?
Yes.
They can't.
That is why I greatly appreciate that Children First has taken up the issue of racial equity in suburban schools. For far too long, the racial achievement gap was dismissed as an urban problem, and moving to the suburbs seemed like the simple solution. But Children First research cut through the rhetoric and revealed the complex causes of the racial disparity and how to resolve them so every student can excel. Pennsylvania's failure to put Children First wastes the incredible talent and creativity of these beautiful children here today. Their talent and their creativity to build strong communities and strong economies. That is why I am standing here today with Children First and pledging my continued partnership with this great organization that continues to fight for all children in the region. Thank you.
That when Ed Rendell was running for governor, a high school student asked him why some schools have outdated textbooks and others have handheld computers. That question really hit home, and he made it his mission to get funds to the schools when he was governor. Add to that kickstarting universal pre-K. In many ways, he was the children's governor. Governor, thank you for being with us on the phone and for all you've done for kids.
Get Donna to hold it here.
We can hear you.
Make me think back of the time I spent in the Capitol. I sit down in my office, and Sheehan wasn't exactly fair to me.
In the 3rd Congressional District, where we have a real champion for children serving in the U.S. Congress, it is now my pleasure to introduce Congressman Dwight.
Yay!
Thank you. I know how to take my orders from Donna Cooper. And they also was Shelley Yanoff. So when the governor was speaking very clearly, we know how to get our direction. But it was for a very special reason. And when Donna said to me the other day on the phone, PCY is changing his name. And she said one thing real quick. I said, what you change it to? Children First.
Woo!
When she said that to me, instantly, I said, that's a good idea. Because what more appropriate message could it be than Children First? As the governor was just describing those policy achievements, it was in the mind of children. And every action that he was just describing, there was something that was not Democrat, something that was not Republican, and that was about children. And all these young people who are here, I'm watching them all, they are the ground basis of this democracy. So when we talk about a democracy, and it's not titles of congressman, state representative, it is citizens. This is the foundation right here. Yes. The foundation of citizenship. Yes. They played a role in the effort, and they are in for the fight. And we also have to be in the fight of joining them in every single way. So when Donna said, Children First, yes, what better title? Right. So I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, and let's get a little noise. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Children First!
1, 2, 3.
Children First!
1, 2, 3. Second.
Children First! Woo!
get it right, they can't learn. It is so fundamental. That's why it's so important on this anniversary of the enactment of CHIP that Annette Myarick, the Executive Director of the amazing Pennsylvania chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics, is with us today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here with you today. And it is truly heartwarming to be here with kids and seeing everyone out and about and having fun and playing, especially after this last year that we have been surviving, right? It's been a tough year. COVID has hit our kids especially hard, both physically and mentally. And the effects are going to linger long in our communities even after we get back to normal, which is why we're here to support Children First. With the rise of the Delta variant, we're not sure when we're going to return to normalcy. This past year and a half has been extremely hard on our pediatricians. They have seen many young children and teens grappling with so many losses. The loss of going to school, the loss of after-school activities, sports, theater, art, and even the loss of loved ones for many. Their social isolation and the increased anxiety that kids have felt has really had an impact, and that's why the work that Children First does is so important, and we're thrilled to be partners. There is much to do to repair the emotion, and it's especially important during their formative years. The COVID pandemic really put a spotlight on so many disparities across a range of factors. And the unique needs of kids were not put at the forefront. I'm sure you heard the press, oh, it doesn't affect kids so much. Well, maybe the disease didn't affect the kids as severely as our older Americans, but the social emotional impact has been truly a heavy burden. And so we are pleased to be partners to try to fix the situation. When classrooms open up again this fall, and we're really hoping to be in person every day, and we want to support that, it's going to be important that kids have the emotional support that they need. So funding is critical for after-school and community programs so that there are safe places for kids to go to build their relationships and build their resiliency. Family members, coaches, clergy, people who interact with children need to learn about the warning signs of anxiety and depression and need to know how to talk about it and what resources are available to support those challenges. We know we can rely on our partners at Children First to be advising and demanding from our public officials to always put the health and safety of children first. We've played a critical role this past year with COVID. We will continue to be your partner as we move through this pandemic and moving forward ever and after. And we call upon all of you in the community to speak up for the protection of children, especially as this school year begins. We know we can count on Children First to play that role, and the American Academy of Pediatrics looks forward to continuing our partnership. Congratulations on your work.
We all know Marcus Allen as the great leader and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Independence. He's a fighter for social justice and an advocate who with us demands that our leaders do a better job meeting the needs of children, especially the critical needs of children of color. Marcus, thank you for being with us here today.
Francis, it is a pleasure to be here with all of you today. It's always intimidating following two different types of people, politicians and preachers. But I'm going to do my best. I want to follow the 5 B's as I get started today. Be brief, brother, be brief. Because I know you've been here for a while. But I want to thank you, Donna, for hosting this today, this press conference. Children First is the best statement for kids in this day and age. Thank you and your team for doing that. And so I want to stick to my script. My name is Marcus Allen, CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Independence, and I am proud to be amongst this group of honored speakers. The African proverb says it takes a village to raise a child. Also, Helen Keller said, walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking alone in the light. At Big Brothers Big Sisters, we work directly with children and teens to reach their full potential. We call ourselves defenders of potential. We have the honor of helping them navigate this world. especially now as we are all navigating and facing the darkness of the pandemic and its broad negative impact on all of our communities. Our position provides unique insight into problems and barriers facing today's children and families. Violence in the family, in the neighborhoods, poverty, hunger, mental and physical health issues. These larger structural issues are beyond our capacity, but not beyond our concern. That's why we partner proudly with Children First.
Woo!
We rely on you, Children First, to make the case for more resources so we can successfully mentor children and teens. While our big brothers are playing ball with their littles, Children First is advocating for funding for extracurricular activities, after-school sports, and anti-gun violence programs. While our little sisters are reading to their littles or taking them to the library, Children First is calling on lawmakers like Dwight to access quality early childhood education. Yes. Kids who have come last in the past, children of color, children living in poverty, immigrant children are high up on Children First agenda. And this will significantly improve the lives of so many young people who feel forgotten. For decades, Children First has cared about children, but their new name gives us all a focus and a mandate to keep children first in our minds, our hearts, and especially our actions.
Children first.
Children first. Children first. Children first. Children first.
We can't focus on our work without having a partner like Children First who does the research, finds the solutions, and makes the case for the change that lawmakers will create. They make it possible for us to deliver our one-to-one services to kids in need, and I assure you, they've got a powerful ally in Big Brothers Big Sisters Independence. My friends, the negativity in our world today, for some of us, has never felt heavier. Heed Helen Keller's advice and walk with our children in the darkness. It is the truly better way than walking alone in the light. Thanks, Children First, and congratulations.
Before we close with our very last speaker, I want to point out for the press that many of my fellow board members and former board members, major donors and leaders in the philanthropy world are with us here today, and dozens of child care providers and wonderful children are with us for this auspicious occasion and fun day for kids. And now I'd like to turn the program over to the amazing, competent, dedicated, inspiring, my friend, our executive director, Donna Cooper.
Yay!
All I have to say, one of the things you know is you've heard it all. You heard from Congressman Evans, you heard from Marcus Allen, you heard from Governor Rendell, you heard from the top pediatrician in the state, you heard from one of the smartest kids in this state, Thaddeus. There is nothing more I need to say than we are all here today to dedicate ourselves to this mission, Children First.
Yay!
This is why we're here. We have no other agenda. We will deliver for children. I invite the members of the press who are here today to talk to any kid here and ask them how much they love their child care program and they love their after-school program. And I will remind all of those children, those parents, those child care providers, that it is all of us together who get the resources on the table to invest in their future. And that's what we're about. Before we close, I do want to make sure everybody here knows free COVID shots are over at this table. Please get your COVID shot today. And I also want to make sure you've played every game, gotten every snack, and make sure you stick with us because there's big fights ahead to make the lives of children better. Thank you very much. You as the press have any questions? Thank you very much. Children First.
Yay!